The Dolomite Mountains of northern Italy are the jagged boundaries of the Ampezzo Valley. In their shadows, the world's best bobsledders are challenging the course and each other. It all begins in their minds, eyes closed, yet still seeing and feeling each turn. Concentration is the fuel as you prepare to start. Tension, anxiety, and fear all transfer to your body as you power the sled forward. 25-foot walls of ice, 70-mile-per-hour speed, and danger flash by in fractions of a second. Disaster lurking at each corner. Arriving safely will be enough for some. But for others, only victory will do. Hello, everyone. I'm Lynn Swan with John Morgan, and we're in Cortina d'Ampezzo, the site of the 1989 World Four-Man Bobsled Championship. Right now at the start line, USA driver number 1, Matt Roy, is getting prepared for the last of 4 heats in this competition. He has one of the fastest teams ever assembled, pushing his sled down this track. Each member of the team has a background in football or track, but the most famous member of this team, Willie Gault, was a world-class hurdler and now a member of the Los Angeles Raiders football team. In Calgary last year, he was the center of controversy. A member of the Olympic bobsled team, he did not compete, but all that has changed here in Cortina.
Willie Gault has proved himself by taking tests. He's measured significantly better than most pushers pushing a sled. Therefore, we're going to use him, regardless of what his name is.
USA number 1, with Matt Roy driving, is currently in 9th place, 29 years old, from Lake Placid. And John, he was one of the more vocal people about not using Willie Gault.
Well, I think he's changed his attitude because his performance in Calgary last year really lacked at the start, Lynn. Again, the start in bobsledding is crucial.
You'll see a split time on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. 5:02 for the start, but John, they were getting sub-5-second starts in practice.
Then they went out and weighed themselves, put the sled, and they realized they're 50 pounds light of the maximum weight in bobsledding, 1387. They put the 50 pounds on the sled, and it's really affected them at the start.
They're hoping that added weight would help carry the speed at the bottom portion of the track.
Well, here we come into a big 2-corner combination called Belvedere Bandillon, and out of the second corner, watch the head snap. Let's watch for the transition and see if it's smooth. Oh, Lynn, the sled went way across the ice, a lot of friction, the head snap. I think he lost a lot of time in that corner.
Matt Roy, best hope for USA driving, has been driving bobsleds since 1981.
Now the speed on the right, 72 miles an hour, is good. At 71, this is not a good heat for Matt Roy. He should have at least 72 mile an hour speed.
There you see his finish time, 54.43. There's his cumulative time over 4 runs. He's currently in 4th place, but with the fastest runners yet to go, I don't think it'll hold up.
And here's where he lost his time out of Bandillon. Look at the runners come across the ice. Look at the head snap. Bobsledding is a sport where everything has to go straight ahead, not side to side, Lynn.
Keep in mind that the track does slow down over 4 runs. Matt Roy, obviously a bit disappointed, but I think we have to be positive here and say they're much more competitive and should be a better team in the future. Still to come, the 5 fastest sleds in the world and their dreams of victory.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport.
And they're off. He's going to run the first 4-minute mile.
I'm always confident I whip all of them.
The thrill of victory.
Lille has scored in his last half for the Cosmos, the biggest upset in the history of Little League.
And the agony of defeat.
Look at him go! Oh, baby. Yarborough right out of the racetrack.
The human drama of athletic competition.
World record number 72. Leonard trying to put him away. Down the stretch they come. It's a fighting finish. Winning colors by a head.
In our 29th year, this is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Welcome back to Cortina, Italy, site of the World Four-Man Bobsled Championships. I'm Lynn Swan with John Morgan. I told you earlier that disaster can strike at any time. In 1966, a West German driver, Tony Pinsberger, was killed on this track. In 1981, USA driver Jim Morgan died on this track, John's brother. John, first time you've been back since 1981. Your personal and expert thoughts on this track.
Well, then the Morgan family has put this tragedy behind us, and it's just ironic the fact that we had to use Jimmy's death to improve the conditions, the safety conditions in this track, but it has. They've eliminated 300 meters at the top of the track. They slowed the track down from 80 miles an hour to 74 miles an hour, and again, the utmost concern of all bobsledders is safety, and I think this track proves it. Let's take a look at the track. Up top, where the speeds are slow, the drivers can't make any mistakes. They come into a big two-corner combination, Belvedere, Bandione, long straightaway into Antelo, Cristallo, one of the biggest corners in the sport, long straightaway into the finish corner, a completion of one of the famous tracks in the world, Cortina.
Safe and still challenging, as less than 0.8 of a second separates the top 5 teams coming into the final round of competition. Those teams are the Swiss 1 and 2 sleds, and then followed by GDR1, East Germany, and also Austria 1 and GDR2. Right now, that's Harold Schudai, the driver for the East German number 2 sleds. He's only 25 years old. He was a world junior champion in 4-man in 1987.
What you're supposed to do in bobsledding is get a good start. This East German team's been getting a great start. There it is, 4.92.
4.92 seconds. It's a young team. Schudai, as I said, 25. The rest of his teams are 22, 21, and 23 years old, John.
Well, they're young and fit, and they get the great starts, but Schudai hasn't been driving the great sled down the track. He's been making a lot of rookie mistakes. Here comes the Labyrinth combination. Out of here is the Bandione-Belvedere combination. Now watch the head snap on the exit of the corner coming up right here. Let's see if it's smooth. No, and he makes the mistake with the right-hand rope. He pulled too early. That's going to cost him some speed points here in the straightaway. Here's Antelo. Cristallo. Too high there. Oh, it cost him. Now, the speed on the right should be at least 72 miles an hour. It is 72.6. He's got a pretty good heat going for all the mistakes he's made, Lynn.
He has a good heat going. We'll see if his speed holds. He moves in the first place, 53.71. A very excellent time, quickly into the number 1 spot. And as quickly as he moved into number 1, he could move out with the likes of Ingo Appelt driving the Austrian number 1 sled, European champion in 4-man competition. There you see his team.
Well, then these guys have had a lot of time together for like 3 or 4 years. Again, bobsledding is very much a team sport. And they're going to need a team effort right here at the start. The East Germans at a 4.92. They're going to need at least that to be competitive at the bottom. 4.96, already down by 400. And Lynn, we judge in bobsledding by a multiplier factor of 3 of the disadvantage you have at the start. So again, he's already down 12 hundredths at the start compared to the East Germans.
He has time to make up. I would have to say that Ingo Appelt, as good a driver as he is, has been sliding for 8 years, has to have a little bit of fear on this track. He's crashed a 4-man bobsled doing practice.
Well, I'm sure it's the farthest thing from his mind now. Let's watch for the exit of this corner to see if he's got a good transition. Not bad, Lynn. The head's a little bit of a sway. He needs the speed right here in the straightaway. Oh, he's in a skid. That's going to cost him a lot of speed. Here he is in the Cristallo, the big corner, looking for 72.6 the miles per hour the East Germans had. 71.5. Lynn, he lost all the time up there in the straightaway.
Every time he got sideways, it's like an eraser on the time. 54.02, second place. That means Harold Schudai of East Germany still is in the number 1 spot, and the young East German has to be happy with that. And also concerned that the top drivers in this competition are yet to come.
For the pride, for the dream, for the love, and for the team, for the sweat and for the drive, for the reason you strive.
For all you do, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood aged Budweiser.
This Bud's for you. This Bud's for you.
Isn't it amazing that no matter how strong and healthy your teeth are, you could still lose them to gum disease? That's why Crest, along with the American Dental Association, recommends that you start fighting gum disease now. Just brush and floss regularly, and above all, see your dentist, because the best way to hold on to your teeth is to take care of your gums. Make sure your bite is as strong tomorrow as it is today.
This message is brought to you with the approval of the American Dental Association by Crest, the dentist's choice.
We're not a company.
But outstanding people come to us every day.
People who want to make a contribution to a team and do work that really counts.
People eager to see new places, do the unusual. and find the unusual.
People who will become your friends for life. People just like you.
We're not a company.
We're your country.
We're the Navy.
The Air Force.
The Marines.
The Army.
We're the armed forces.
It's a great place to start.
After 6 hours of school, I had enough for the day. I hit the radio dial.
With the designed-in sound of a Delco Electronics music system, now the best seat in the house is in your GM car or truck. Delco Electronics, it's who we are.
We're gonna make you a great deal. A large cheese pizza for just $6.89. Add your favorite toppings for a little extra, and you've got a hot deal from Domino's Pizza. What are you waiting for?
ABC's Wide World of Sports is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Kellogg's Nut and Honey Crunch. The taste of nuts and honey with a hearty crunch. Now in new biscuits, too. And by Delco Electronics.
You're looking at the Olympic Ice Stadium, where in 1956, Tinley Albright and Hayes Allen Jenkins won gold for the USA. Cortina also brought together two legends of bobsledding, Wolfgang Hoppe and Eugenio Monte, who both won double golds in Olympic competition. Hoppe is considered to be the best driver in the world today, and I asked him about fear on the bobsled track.
Ohne Weise. Es gibt bestimmt viele Sportarten, die ich gerne machen würde.
There are many sports I would like to do. I'm coming out of a motocross family, and my father and grandfather have been race drivers. We like the speed and the risk in sport.
And he's handled that speed and risk very well. He is a three-time world champion in bobsled competition.
Lynn, he's been giving up a lot of time at the start because he's got a bad calf. Let's watch the start time. 4:92 is the best start. There it is. There's that bad start that I was talking about, Lynn. I got to believe his leg is really bothering him because usually Wolfgang Hoppe is some of the best starts in the competition.
He had a 5-second start time in the third heat and carried 72.77 miles per hour down the track. We'll see if he can maintain or get to that speed again.
He's got to be perfect again, giving up that much time at the start. Here we come into Belvedere Bandillon. Let's watch for the head snapping, see if he's smooth. No, he made a mistake, Lynn, but the runner still came out of there going pretty straight. Again, the big thing he's got to be concerned with is the speed down here. His countryman at 72.6.
Whenever Wolfgang Hoppe is in the sled, everyone is nervous because he's moving up. 72.36 miles per hour. It's good speed. There you see his time. Right hand, lower corner, 53.81. He moves in the first place by 12 100ths of a second. He is guaranteed at least third place finish. Hoppe puts the pressure on Gustav Bader, who is driving the Swiss 2 sled, who is going to come down next on this track. And Bader, although he has put together 3 of the best runs on this track, John, has a reputation for losing it in the 4th run.
Well, usually he's in first place going to the 4th run. Now he's in 2nd place, coming from behind. Veteran. Watch him at the start, Lynn. 4:92 is the good East German time at the left, and he's got to be near that to be competitive at the bottom. There it is. 4:93 start. Needless to say, very competitive. This is where he's been competitive with driving the sled down the course. I got to believe he's put the best 3 heats in so far.
Former downhill skier did not make the Swiss national team in 1987, so a good run here in a championship means a lot to him.
Well, he has a little skid already up here where it's slow. It's really going to cost him. Let's watch how smooth he is here out of Belvedere Bandillon. Let's take a look. Like glass, Lynn. Perfect. Good speed. Onto low. We're looking for 72, 4-mile-an-hour speeds or so to be competitive. A little bump.
Is that gonna hurt him? Will he beat Hoppe?
I think with 72.5, he's got enough to beat Hoppe. He's got at least a silver medal here for the Swiss.
53.78. He does it by half a second. Gustav Bader moves up in front of Wolfgang Hoppe. 2 of the perennial powers in bobsledding. East Germany and the Swiss are battling it out. For now, it's a showdown. The Swiss #1 driver, Nico Baracchi, is getting set to come. He is 31 years old. He's only been bobsled driving for 3 years. We asked him when he looked at the ice, what does he see?
I see a
little bumps. I see maybe where the turn is falling down, and so you know the point where to steer. And that's the most important thing on bobbing, to get the right point to steer.
And he's been getting the right point. He is the oldest of his team. The rest of his members, Rice 21, Auckland 23, and Mangold is 25.
You're watching the best bobsled start team in the world. They had a 4:88 start time in the second heat. Let's see if they can match that, Lynn. Yes, Lynn, I tell you, it's a good start in bobsledding. There's so much you can do down the mountain.
He's been getting them consistently. He also has the track record. In the first heat, he turned in a time of 53.27. If he has a time anywhere near that, he'll win the gold.
Now that time in the left, -10. He's got a 10/100th lead on right now. So right now, he's got the gold medal in his grasp. He doesn't make any mistakes down the mountain. Now let's watch the transition here out of this corner. Just like Vader, he's smooth as glass. Could be a gold medal run right here, Lynn.
We talked with him. He said he didn't think he could win first place. He was hoping just to medal. But right now, I think he has to take first place all the way.
Let's watch the speed now. 72.5 is what Vader had. Remember, Betty, 72.1. That's not a good sign.
Time on the right, you see 53.89, second place. But John, he thinks he's won it.
I don't blame him for thinking he's won it. He had a good heat. But Gustav Vader's the winner of the gold.
Yes, he is. First place, the elusive world championship is finally his.
Here's the replay. You can see Baraki thinks he's won it. I don't blame him. He lost by the length of a finger, Lynn.
While the intent of the raised arms was for personal victory, it will stand as a symbol for Swiss team success. Here are the final standings. Matt Roy came in 12th place, and USA number 2 sled driven by Bob Horvath was 21st. For John Morgan, I'm Lynn Swan saying goodbye from Cortina, Italy.
Coming up, the